Welcome to Rouse Fly Box. Today we're going to tie a pattern developed by one of the people I most admire in the fly tying field, Fran Betters. I've tied a lot of his flies, fished a lot of his flies, can connect with a lot of the properties of why he tied his flies, and they've been probably some of the most productive flies in my box over the years. We're going to tie the Ausable bomber today, and with a slight variation, couple materials that I change, not because materials that Fran Betters used were insufficient, but I do not like calf tail. You can look long and hard in my box or my bench, and you will not find calf tail anywhere. It's not a material that I really appreciate. I much prefer to use unstacked hair, elk or deer, in light colors for that. So that's what we do. So let's go over how I tie it. I start off with a size 10 standard dry fly hook and Rusty Dunn 8/0 uni thread. This is the version I began fishing a number of years ago in Washington State as a sea run cut pattern, mainly because they too like orange. I have changed the dubbing color slightly back east here, and it has done very well. This body color that I'll show you is the one I use here mostly in Pennsylvania and Virginia. The next material you're going to tie in is woodchuck or groundhog hair. You're going to take a larger clump of it than you normally would think about for a tail, and you're going to strip it of its under fur. But as you've seen in a couple other videos, do not throw this under fur away. This is a very valuable material. It's a great dubbing material when blended. And I leave it unstacked and as is unless I see something that's very, very out of whack and extremely long. Like I've got two hairs right here that are good and straight, but just a little bit too long. So I'll hand stack at times just to get them somewhat close. I keep screwing up and putting it back in long. And if you got a hair that's obviously broken, take it out. And what you're going to do is you're going to measure this shank length and you're going to tie it in. And then you're going to, I trim the butt ends of the tail off about midway on the fly at a taper and wrap forward. That taper is going to take me just about to the tie-in point of the wing. Now you're going to take this wing, you're going to tie this in slightly further than the 1/3 point where you would normally. I tie it in just a little bit shorter because it is a bomber pattern. And then we're going to tie in our wing. Like I said, I use bleached calf elk hair for almost all my white wings that would normally call for calf tail. I use calf elk bleached. And you're going to cut a stack like this, and again, you're not going to stack it. You're going to take it, strip the under fur out of it, just clean it. Normally that doesn't even matter because you never even tie in, you're not going that far back. And again, you're going to measure approximately shank length. And you're going to tie it in up top, just in a clump. And I'll wind back part way. I'm going to come in again about the midway point, and I'm going to cut it off with a slight taper and bind it down. That usually puts my transition right about even. And you're going to come forward and prop that wing up. You're not going to post it, you're just going to prop it up. And then bring your thread back to be on right behind the transition point. The next material you're going to tie in is the body hackle. You can use grizzly and brown mix, or you can use Cree. So I'm going to use a size 10 Cree, size 10 hook. Got that forward just a little bit. I tie it in on the side of the hook. And wrap over that transition just a little bit. Next material you're going to tie in is the dubbing. Now the dubbing I use is a little bit different blend. I mix hairline dubbing. I blend it. I've been doing it for a long time. Number 16, number 10, and number 27. I believe that's hot orange, amber, and bright yellow. 1/3 each. I label it on my box as sunset orange. It comes out like a sunset. Really, when you see it, the bright yellow and the orange don't blend completely, but it gives a highlight to the dubbing. And you're gonna apply your dubbing. I apply it directly just with saliva onto my thread. And I don't overdo the body in thickness with this fly, unless I'm going larger. If I go to a large shank hook, like when I'm fishing salmon or steelhead, I'll go to a larger shank hook. You're going to wind your body. A little bit of a rope there instead of a dubbing. There we go. Level out our transition. Bring your dubbing forward. You need a little more. This pattern is very versatile. It'll fish nice as a standard dry fly, as a search pattern. It's very buoyant. Stays on top through rough water, a lot of riffles. You got pocket water, a lot of surface tension, and you're having trouble pulling your fly under. It's a great alternative to go to, and it also skates very well for steelhead or salmon. Alright, we're going to bring at least one extra turn right behind the hair, and we're going to bring our dubbing forward, post it, and bring it up behind the eye. And next we're going to bring our hackle forward. You can double full palmered hackle. Space it evenly. Make sure your last hackle in the back is tight behind. And I try and get 3 wraps in front, a little bit tighter spaced than the body. And you're going to tie it off. And finish your head. And a quick whip finish. And there it is. The Ausable Bomber. Slight variation in color from the traditional. This color fishes very well in the waters I'm on. I do prefer using the Cree versus the 2 hackle. But other than that, the fly remains untouched because it works. A great attractor pattern. Like I said, if you're in steelhead water or salmon water especially, and what I found was sea run cut water, you can skate this through the tail end of pools, and it is a phenomenal pattern. Thank you for watching. I hope it adds to your box. Good luck and see you in the water.